What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mike on the mic, live here in West Texas, bringing you West Texas' latest and greatest reports. And man, it's been a good morning so far here in Amarillo, Texas. It's a little bit nippy out there, a little bit nippy. So I decided I'm going to sit here and drink my coffee and go in late to work today. And here I am, y'all. So just waiting on a few people to log on. All right, so how's everybody been? I hope your Thanksgiving was good. It's gonna be a good holiday. I'm gonna take this off though, y'all, because for some reason I can't wear this and a hat so I can hear myself better. Go Cowboys, man. Stephen A likes to get put on one of these and get his little cigar. But yeah, I'll put this on every now and then. But anyhow, let's talk about the NFL. You got Philip Rivers coming back for the Colts, man. What do y'all think about that? That'd be like Tony Romo coming back to play for the Cowboys. 45 or 44 years old. I know Tony Romo's 45 because I'm 45. So anyhow, I haven't shaved. It's no shaved November, December right now. So looking pretty clean. You know what I'm saying? I need a lineup though. That's for sure. Um, Tomorrow night we got Thursday night football, Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Bucks. That's going to be a good one because Atlanta is only have four. I think they only have 4 wins this season, and they're looking to get a win, but their playoff chances are over. So either they're trying to play spoiler or they're gonna go out and try to tank so they can get a good draft pick. Which, speaking of that, if the Eagles lose to the Raiders this Sunday, that's going to make that Cowboy and Minnesota game even more interesting. Because if they win that, that means if the Raiders shock the world and beat them somehow, the Eagles, um, and I bet you Jerry Jones is calling Mac Davis or whatever his name, Mark Davis, and like, hey buddy, I'll pay you some money. You know what I'm saying? Meet me in New York because I just got here over here by the park. If you can beat the Eagles somehow, then you know, I'll pay you a little bit. No, I'm just playing, but you never know. You never know. But that would be cool if the Raiders beat them. They play at noon on Sunday, and then we play Sunday night. So that would make that game even more interesting. But if the Raiders lose, which they probably will, I mean, they're the worst team in football right now. They just lost Gino, I think. But maybe this backup quarterback can come in and play. I don't know. We'll see. I don't even know who the backup for the Raiders is. Let me know in the comments if you know the backup quarterback for the Vegas Raiders. Um, yeah, man. So Trayvon Diggs is supposedly coming back this week, and that's that's pretty cool to me. I like Trayvon. You know, I ran into him a few times whenever I was at training camp. Seemed like a pretty cool dude, man. I just don't think he likes the Eberflus system, and I really don't either, honestly. I mean, the fact that he was vocal and was able to speak up and say, "Hey, man, we need to play man," you know, that takes a lot of guts. And the fact that he did do that in a nice way, um, it wasn't that he's a cancer, but I mean, just look at the defense. We have the worst defense in the league, and it's not Trayvon's fault they do. It's the coaching and the linebacker play. And so hopefully this week, Kenneth Murray is not on my screen for show, for show. So Kenneth Murray, if you've seen all the tape, he runs away from conflict. He runs away from contact. So that's not good. It's like he's playing like he's a op. I feel like Kenneth Murray and Eberflus are ops that were sent to the Cowboys to make them horrible. Yeah, I don't know. I just with all the talent that we have on defense, I just don't get it. The physicality is not there. Either these boys need to go get in the weight room or they were just tired the other night. I think they were just tired, man. You play that amount of games against those two teams, the Eagles and the Chiefs, back to back, and then expect to go on the road all the way to Detroit and win. Who made this schedule? I mean, come on, NFL. I mean, Dallas Cowboys had the hardest schedule. Now that we look at it, if you look back at it, you're like, dang, we played the Bears. They're like the number one team. We played the Packers, the Lions. Now we got to play the Vikings, who just beat Washington 31-0. Like, man, bro, it's getting wild out here, man. It's getting wild, man. They expected us to fail, bro. And those refs in that game, you have to be dumb as a doornail to believe or under a delusion to believe that game was not fixed. I mean, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a Cowboy fan. Um, there were multiple calls on there that were you could tell it was rigged by Vegas or something, man. Because even that other game, what was it? Um, where Vegas punted the ball on the 30-yard line when they could have kicked the field goal. They're down in the game. Why wouldn't they kick the field goal? Instead, they punted the ball because they didn't want the spread to cover. If they would have made that field goal, that would have been 5 points instead of 8.5 or something like that, and that would have covered the spread. So the Cowboy game, if Dallas would have scored that touchdown on the Jake Ferguson call, where they called offensive pass interference, and then they went back and if you watched Hard Knocks last night, you saw on Hard Knocks where Shoddy told the ref he was running a route. Like they tried to say that he was blocking downfield. He was not blocking downfield. He was running a route. He just out masterclassed that defender and swam over him and got open, and it blew their minds. That wasn't supposed to happen. And so he threw the flag and said offensive pass interference when we all know that that was defensive pass interference. We should have got the ball on the 1 yard line and that would have been a touchdown. But nobody wants to give us any benefit of the doubt. Oh, we got blew out by the Lions. No, we didn't. We got cheated by the Lions. And then there was another call, I think it was in the first half, where they were being tick tacky on every little time we get a big play. They'd call holding, or one time the guy had his hand under his face mask, but it wasn't really on his face mask. It was underneath and kind of got caught about right here on his chin. But in this game, the scope of this game, there's no way on God's green earth that they should have threw a penalty. The magnitude of this game was just way too big, too much on the line. You can't call tick-tacky calls that are going to change the effect of a game like that. And Dallas got the short end of the stick. That should have been a high-scoring game. Final score 44-40 Dallas or something like that, not 40-30. But they didn't want the spread to cover, so they made them blow us out because everybody on the line picked Dallas. If you look, all the money was on Dallas. So, anywho, what it do? So, let's go to our picks real quick because I got to go to work here in a minute. Let's look at these games. What about them Texas Tech Red Raiders, y'all? Them Texas Tech Red Raiders might win it all, man. They got a good defense for the first time ever. I've never seen a defense this good. All right, so you got Atlanta and Tampa Bay, and that's a hint for the Dallas Cowboys during the draft. I wouldn't mind you going in there and getting a couple of them Texas Tech Red Raiders, man. Jacob Rodriguez, I'd love to have him at middle linebacker. He's better than freaking K9. I guarantee that. And if they develop him right, he could be the next Sean Lee, but with no injuries. All right, you got Atlanta, Tampa Bay. The spread is 4. Um, Tampa Bay's at home. Playoffs on the line. They're getting their players back. Bucky Irving's back. They lost last week though to I think it was the Saints. Yeah, they lost to the Saints, and I was just like, what the heck? But I understand because that's a division game, and those teams you never know, when you're playing a division game. But that might have been another game that was rigged. Who knows? Arizona, Houston, um, 9.5. I just don't think that Houston's, well, they might beat them by 10. I'd kind of stay away from that one, to be honest. But if I had to choose, I would take Arizona to cover the 9.5 because we all know how the league is. Everybody's going to be betting on Texans 9.5. And Texans offense isn't that good. Their defense is, but I think it'll be a close game. Arizona's, even though their record isn't what they says it is, they're a better team. I mean, they came in and beat the Cowboys. I don't know how, but they did. There was also a couple calls on in there too. The Arizona Cardinals missed a field goal and they called it good. They did that last week too in a game. I forget which game it was, but the field goal was no good and they said it was good. And they have AI and they have all this stuff and they can't investigate this stuff and nobody says a word on YouTube. None of these analysts that I listen to talk about how these games are being rigged. It's either they're blind, they don't want to believe it, or they just don't want to talk about it so they don't get canceled. But me, I'm gonna keep it 100. So go back and watch those games, and people say, "Oh, you're just making an excuse because you're a Cowboy fan." Blah blah blah. Nah, bro. Go back and watch it with the biased mind, bro. Go back and watch that Lions game with the biased mind on those calls. It's rigged, bro. Even yesterday, like I was telling you about, or the Raiders game. Go watch the end of that Raiders game, and go watch the end of that Cleveland game. Shadur Sanders could have won that game, but no, we're gonna do some trick play and try to get cute. All right, let's see here. I think the coaches and the refs are in on it. The coaches and the refs are in on it. I don't think the players really are. I think the superstars kind of know and might be in on it there's like two clubs. There's the club that is the truth and they don't really know about it or they don't care to know about it. And then there's the people that do know about it and don't say nothing. All right, let's see here. Chicago Bears and Cleveland Browns. The spread is 7.5 in Chicago. Shadur Sanders. This could be one of those games that they fix too. I would just take Chicago to win, but I wouldn't pick the spread just to be safe. Jacksonville Jaguars um, against the Jets, 12-point spread. Jaguars have been playing really good. They'll probably come in and go to the playoffs for sure. Um, their schedule doesn't look too hard either. I'll take I would take the Jets plus 12. Even though the Jets are a bad team, they always keep the games close. I've never seen a game where the Jets have just got totally destroyed, really, except for when the Cowboys played them. But even when they played Cincinnati and other good teams, they hung with them. So it's in Jacksonville. I would take Jacksonville to win, but I would take the Jets and the points. Um, Philly and Vegas. I really don't want to say. Of course, I want Vegas to win this game, but it's in Philly. Philly's hungry for a win. I just don't see Vegas in the condition they're in even winning this game. But the spread is 10.5. With the way Philly's offense is playing, you just never know. But I think they're going to pull it together this week. I would say they'd cover that 10.5. They'll probably beat them by a couple of touchdowns. Um, I would say like 28-14, something like that, or 28-10. Um, Buffalo, New England in New England. There's no spread on this one. It's a pick me game. It looks like 51% is on Buffalo as of last night. 51% of the bets on Buffalo. Um, I don't know. New England's rolling. They're a really good team, but for some reason, I just think Buffalo's hungry and they're gonna come in and win. They've owned New England the last 10 years, but has New England turned around to the New England of the of Tom Brady's era? We don't know unless they can beat Buffalo. Um, that will determine that. That's a huge game for New England. That's a statement game. I think they can beat Buffalo, but man, Josh Allen is just a beast, man. Um, and they're getting their team back healthy a little bit in Buffalo. I'll take Buffalo, man. I think they're going to edge them out at the end by a field goal. Um, Baltimore, Cincinnati. In Cincinnati, Baltimore's hungry. Give me Baltimore to cover. I just don't think that the Bengals care to win. They're trying to get draft picks at this point. You're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. There's no point of even playing Joe Burrow except for pride. And if he gets hurt again and he blows an ACL or something, he's not able to play next year. You're rolling the dice, man. If I was Cincinnati, I would sit, let Baltimore win, and go to the playoffs. So we'll see. Los Angeles Chargers, Kansas City. Spread is 4 in Kansas City. I think Kansas City wins this. I know the Chargers looked great last week, but they got a lot of luck. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is going to make the same mistakes as Jalen Hurts did. Patrick Mahomes saw that game. They're not going to come out and throw the ball like that. They're going to, if anything, do passes deep down the field or run the ball. They're not going to try to do slants and screen because if you miss it, boom. That's how their defense is designed, man. They swarm to the ball and they get a lot of turnovers that way. And so I think Kansas City will win this. I think Kareem Hunt is going to come out and play good. I think Travis Kelsey's upset from last week. Give me Kansas City. Um, let's see here. Giants and Commanders. Give me the Giants. Commanders got blew out last week, 31-0. I just don't think this team's in it no more. I mean, they got Terry McLaurin back and stuff like that. Dallas has got to play him, which is kind of scary, but their quarterback just got hurt again. I think Dan Quinn is just you can see it all over his face. I mean, anybody that knows Dan Quinn, he doesn't look the same, especially on Hard Knocks. You could tell his demeanor. He really didn't even want to talk on the camera. He was just depressed. But he did. And he's still coaching and trying his best. But man, they just don't have it no more. Green Bay in Denver, Sunday afternoon game. If you're on the East Coast, it's a Sunday night game. Um, in Denver, man, this is a hard one. I think Green Bay is the better team right now, but Denver's defense is just so good. I don't think that he's going to be able to just do what he does. He's getting a lot of his receivers back though. If they can get separation and he can get some time in the pocket, I think Jordan Love will have a good game. But you know how Denver is in Denver, man. And so they're going to blitz. They're going to disguise blitzes. They're going to use those fast linebackers. Um, he's got to get rid of the ball quick. Jordan Love's got to get rid of the ball quick, and his receivers need to be open. And they need to run the ball. Is this in Denver? It's going to be cold. You're going to have to run the football. Is their running back hurt for Green Bay? Where's he in? I can't remember. I think he's questionable, but anyhow, we will see. I would take Denver on this though, probably just because they're at home. That's it's hard to win in Denver. So um, if anybody can do it though, Green Bay can. I would stay away from that, but if I had to choose, I would just choose Denver because it's at home, basically. And then San Francisco Titans, of course, I'm taking 49ers. I don't think they'll cover the whole 13 points just because they just haven't hit their stride on offense yet. They were doing better with Mac Jones, honestly. I don't know. I know they pay Brock Purdy a lot of money, but Mac Jones is the hot hand, and he's a good quarterback, man. In fact, I think he could probably be just as good as um, what they have going on in New England right now. But he could be a starter for Cleveland. I bet. I bet you Cleveland Browns go after Mac Jones next year. And Shadur, I don't know. I think K- Shadur really needs to have a good game these next 4 games. He really does. Um, Speaking of Cleveland, do you think they can come out and win this week? I don't. They're playing the Bears, but you never know, man. You never know. It's any given Sunday in this league, so that spread is 7.5. But Chicago's at home. They have one of the best records in the league. They just got outwitted by the Green Bay Packers, and the Green Bay Packers are coming for the NFC North. So I think Chicago outgrits this one, man. I think they only win by a touchdown, though. I think it's going to be close because Shadur has a lot of fight in him. But we'll see how he holds up against this caliber of a defense. This is a really good defense in Chicago. I would say he at least throws 2 interceptions if he throws a lot. But I think they're trying to develop him, but they just need to get out of the way and let the kid play. Just get out of the way. Let the kid play. All right, let's see here. Houston and Arizona, 9.5. We already talked about that. And of course, you got Dallas Cowboys Sunday night against Minnesota. The spread's 5.5 at Jerry World. Minnesota just came off a 31-0 victory. And they didn't even use their best receiver doing it, which is weird. Maybe they just used him as a decoy, Justin Jefferson. Um, I think Dallas wins this game in a big fashion. I think Minnesota is a good defensive football team, but it's not going to be enough. Um, I think George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb need to be prepared though, because these corners are feisty for Minnesota. Very feisty. You're going to have to be on your A game. They like to create turnovers. You're going to have to hold on to the ball, Big Biscuit. Hold on to that ball with both hands because these Minnesota Vikings are going for turnovers and they hit hard and they're very disciplined and well coached. So can't go out here just thinking, oh yeah, we're gonna whatever. You better be ready in the trenches on offensive line. Hopefully, I don't know who's going to start. If Tyler Guyton's coming back, at which I think he is, trending to play. CeeDee Lamb's trending to play. Um, and like I said earlier, if the Raiders somehow pull off an upset and beat the Eagles, this game is going to be crazy, 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 crazy. But I'm just a delusional Cowboy fan. What do I know? What do I know? I don't know. Um, but yeah, man, Sunday night football will be a lot more exciting if the Raiders can beat the Eagles Sunday at noon, which I will be watching that game. I might even go live for a little bit. If y'all are watching the games on Sunday, I'm thinking about doing a show all day watching the games and probably have a few special guests over. And so if y'all want to join me this Sunday, let me know in the comments and I will do a show all day. And I have some giveaways. I still got the silver hat back here that I need to give away, the big one. And some Cowboy memorabilia. I got Demarion Overshown signature on this, or no, it's on this one. And I also got a Trayvon Diggs signature, and then I got a oh, that's Michael Gallup. Nobody wants a Michael Gallup, man. But I got a Demarion Overshown. See right there, Demo 0. I got that signed at training camp. Sorry about the display, y'all. I can get a new one. That's all right. The helmet's still good. Yes, sir. And then I also got a Demarion Overshown signed football. A football and mini helmet. We will be auctioning those off. So let me know in the comments. Type Cowboys if you want to enter into the contest. Cowboys. Well, we'll see y'all later. God bless. Love y'all. Peace.